From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network, Troy, Alabama's International University, this is Troy TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision News for February 28th, 2018. I'm Madison Neal.
And I'm Seth Hawk. Thank you for joining us this evening. Troy University Student Government Association is working toward making the campus a little brighter at night. A resolution proposed last night would suggest adding more lights to campus. Brady Talbert has the story.
Dark roadways can make for hazardous areas on campus, and in light of a Sodexo worker being hit by a moving vehicle earlier this month, action is being taken at the legislative level to prevent accidents like these. Earlier this semester, even before the February 13th incident, Freshman Forum Student Welfare Committee was drafting a lighting on campus bill after noticing dark spots near roadways.
It was something that we saw when we went on our night walks and our night drives that was a problem, and we were actually in the final stages of writing the bill when the incident happened, and so that just further reinforced the need for better lighting on campus.
On Tuesday, the bill was presented in front of the Student Government Association with hopes of having it passed next week. Now this is Resolution 2018-2, the bill that was presented Tuesday night. Now the goal of this bill is to bring more lighting to Troy University's campus, specifically on McKinley Drive off of University Avenue, outside of Newman Center 100, and lastly on Luther Drive, a goal that will make Troy University safer for its students.
When students are walking home from the library or even driving, it's hard to see the surrounding areas. Better lighting creates a safer environment ultimately, and anything that we can do to better our university is something we definitely want to be a part of.
While the idea of more lighting around campus has already been on the university's radar, SGA President Ashley Morris believes this bill could be the push to spark change.
They pinpointed something that is definitely needed. It's something that we've been working on, and I think that their involvement in it will help give us a little push to make sure that administration gets on that and continues to keep the ball rolling on those improvements, which they're already working on.
That bill is being voted on Tuesday night. Brady Talbert, Troy TrojanVision News.
Once again, the next SGA meeting will be at 6:30 p.m. in Bibb Graves 121.
Troy University education majors took their first steps towards employment after graduation this morning through an education career fair held in Hawkins Hall. Janae Jordan has the details.
Before Troy was known as Troy University, it was known as Troy Normal School, an institution known for training teachers for Alabama schools. And although the name might have changed, the same training for teachers still remains the same. So on Wednesday morning, Troy University held an education fair to give students majoring in education a chance to get acquainted with school systems from around Alabama.
So the career fair is there's about 40 schools here that have come all over Alabama, some in Florida, some in Georgia. They are here just to talk to us, to get to know them, and them get to know us. Some of them offer interviews.
The education fair is a way for students majoring in education to get an idea of which school system they might be interested in.
It lets us get our name out there, and every school that we go and talk to, they tell us where they're located, some of the things that they offer, like if they're 1-1 with technology, or if their student-to-teacher ratio is small or high, which will help you decide where you want to go teach.
The students are able to leave resumes and gather contact information from each school system. Joe Blivens, a former Trojan who graduated from the education department, talked about how Troy prepares its students to be successful after graduating.
The thing I see is that the students coming out of here have a very good grasp of methodology, different strategies in the classroom, how to use data to really individualize lessons, and I think just a good overall positive environment that they come out of here that they bring into our classrooms.
With over 40 school systems, at least one school system piqued each student's interest. Janae Jordan, Troy TrojanVision News.
Any Troy University students who aren't sure what their career path is just yet will have a chance to learn about their options at the Major Madness Exploration Fair next Wednesday from 2 to 4 in Trojan Arena. When it comes to college students and posters, one might think about decorating a dorm room.
However, yesterday afternoon, Troy students were using posters to educate their fellow Trojans. Carissa Justice has the story.
On Tuesday, Troy University gave its students the opportunity to showcase some independent research projects at the Troy University poster session.
Basically, we have students from all across the university have come and put together posters of their research that they've been working on of various kinds. So any department, any level, graduate, undergraduate.
Professor Ben Robertson discussed how students can benefit from participating in this event.
One of the biggest things is that students can actually, it's another line on the CV or resume, which is a really good thing to have. Even more importantly, maybe, is the fact that it gives you experience with, presenting your work to the public and, getting experience responding to questions and that kind of thing.
One student presenter talked about the logistics of his research project.
My work actually about gaze detection is a new technique, and my work focus about the person who is work in laptop or computer science, and I can limited the gaze, where is he looking, and actually that is very good for future work.
But even if students did not participate in this event, Robertson says there is benefit to just viewing the research conducted by other students.
Benefits for just spectators is just to see that, the kind of quality work that the other students can produce, and it can kind of help to encourage them to do work that's just as good.
Carissa Justice, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Many of the posters on display yesterday could end up being presented at academic conferences in the future.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome back to your TrojanVision Sports. I'm Sarah Drake. The Trojan baseball team is back in Riddle Pace Field tonight for their first of 11 of 13 games as they are set to host in-state rival UAB. This past weekend, the team was swept by number 3 Florida State in a 3-game set. Coach Mark Smart is sending Rush Hickson to the mound for his third collegiate start. The last time Hickson was on the mound at Riddle Pace, he fanned 5 batters in 5 innings of work in the series final against UT Martin. UAB will jump back into the swing of baseball season as its originally scheduled series with Arkansas State was canceled due to inclement weather last week. And assistant coach Brad Phillips says it will be exciting to see how the guys rebound in this game.
UAB, always a tough opponent, fundamentally sound, well coached, play hard. They're coming off of a bye weekend, really, because they got rained out up in Arkansas. So they're going to come in fresh too, and it's always an exciting game with UAB, and our guys are really looking forward to getting back out. It's coming off the week that we had last week and then going into this week, it is another tough week, but our guys, like I said, I think they got some belief in themselves, and it's going to be exciting to see how they rebound from the weekend.
First pitch is scheduled for 6 p.m. and the first 100 fans in the gate will receive a Troy Drawsting bag. The women's golf team is back in action as Bianca Lobauer led Troy against a star-studded field in the rain-shortened spring opener. Lobauer shot a 2-over-74 in Tuesday's lone round at the Dixon at the Woodlands Country Club. Lobauer finished tied for 32nd overall. Sarah Harrison carded a pair of birdies on the day to shoot a 4-over-76 and finished in a tie for 49th place, while Lindsay Harrison was 2 shots back at 6-over and tied for 65th place with 1 birdie in her round. Eva Fabricius-Bier finished at 8-over and tied for 76th place overall, and Antonia Poete had 1 birdie on the day and shot 10-over to finish tied for 84th. On the final week of the regular season, the men's basketball team will head north for a test against Georgia State on Thursday. The Trojans will be looking to lock in a top 4 seed and first-round bye for the ensuing Sun Belt tournament next week. Continued strong play from Jordan Varnado would help figure Troy's chances as the forward has scored 23 or more in 2 of his past 3 games. In his past 6 games, Varnado has 4 double-doubles, highlighted by his 30-13 outing in the last road game at Appalachian State. Georgia State has hit a rough patch as the Panthers have lost 3 of the past 4, following an 89-81 loss to UT Arlington on Saturday, and assistant coach Ben Fletcher talks about what makes the Panthers a challenge.
They're a team that's going to play 40 minutes of zone, so we have to prepare for that, which most teams in our league don't do that, so you have to prepare for that. And then after that, you have to prepare for a totally different team in Georgia Southern, who plays predominantly man-to-man, but they switch everything. So it's something that we've seen all year. The preparation for our league games are totally different game by game. So it'll be one of those approaches again this weekend.
The Trojans and Panthers tip off at 6:15 p.m. and the game will be available on the Troy Sports Radio Network. The women's basketball team wraps up their regular season with a 2-game road swing, starting with a 4 p.m. matchup at Georgia State on Thursday. Currently 4th, the Trojans could finish as high as 3rd with a pair of wins combined with a UT Arlington loss. The top 4 teams in the league receive a first-round bye in next week's Sun Belt Conference tournament. After getting off to a sluggish 2-4 start in conference play, the Trojans have found its footing, winning 9 of its last 10 games. A balanced scoring attack has been key for the Trojans, as at least 4 players have reached double figures in each of the last 3 games. Senior Chelsea Gibson and freshman Jasmine Sanders have stepped up down the stretch and are each averaging over 12 points per game over the last 3 contests.